What's going on, guys? Welcome to Inside the Horseshoe. My name is Matt, and today I'm going to be predicting the schedule for the Indianapolis Colts, and I will give you my official prediction for what their record will be. But before I do that, if you're new, if you haven't already, I would greatly appreciate if you would click that subscribe button. Also, click the bell icon so you're notified when I upload a video or when I go live. If you like the video, smack the like button, leave your thoughts in the comments down below. And if you have a Twitter, follow me on Twitter, horseshoe_pod. There is a link in the description down below. So the Colts, they're going to have Daniel Jones as their starting quarterback. And I wanted to wait just to see who the quarterback was going to be before I actually decided to go with my record prediction. So we're going to do that today. Tomorrow we're going to talk about the last preseason game and what I'm looking forward to. But before we do that, let's actually talk about the schedule and I'll give my prediction. So let's start off in week 1. The Colts, they're hosting the Miami Dolphins. I think whether you had Jones or Richardson starting in this game, I feel like the result would still be the same. I feel like the Colts beat the Dolphins in this one. I think, for one, you look at Miami, their secondary is banged up, more banged up than ours, I would say. I feel like we're going to have the majority, if not all, of our starters on the defensive side for week 1. It just depends who ends up getting hurt from now until then. But I feel like we'll be a little more healthy in this game. I don't think Miami's all that good, if I'm going to be honest. Like, I think they're solid. I don't think they're bad or anything. I just don't think they're all that great. And also, this is the Jim Irsay game. They're going to be inducting Jim Irsay into the Ring of Honor during this game. So I do think that adds something to this game as well. And I think that the Colts will get this done. I think they beat the Dolphins. They'll win this game. It will be close, but they're going to snap the streak of no week 1 wins. It's been a while since we won our first game of the year. I think it's finally going to happen. Now we move on to the Denver Broncos. Look, Denver has one of the better defenses. Last year was a top 10 defense in the league. Their offense, I think, was better than what I expected it to be. Bo Nix played better than what I thought he was going to in his rookie season. And he looks like he's going to have a pretty promising career in Denver. I like their weapons that they have there, too. And they have a really good running back named Audric Estime, former Notre Dame guy, that I think is going to have a pretty good impact for this team. So I think Denver's just simply the better team. I think Denver's going to win this game. I think they go into Lucas Oil and they get the win, and that makes the Colts 1-1. Moving on to week 3, the Colts will play against Tennessee at Tennessee. I do like some of the moves Tennessee made. I think they made some pretty good moves, and I like Cam Ward. I'm really upset he's in Tennessee because I think Cam Ward is going to be a very good quarterback in the NFL. I just think with Cam Ward, he's going to have rookie struggles. Happens with a lot of quarterbacks where they just don't play great when they first get into the NFL. But hey, the game will slow down for them and they'll end up playing better. Not everybody is Jaden Daniels or CJ Stroud. Okay? So I do think Cam Ward is going to be really good. However, I think it's going to be an adjustment for him to get used to the NFL and the speed. There's things he could do at Miami. He will not be able to do that in the NFL. So I'm going to take the Colts. I think they win this game. Simply put, I think they have the better roster. And while I think Cam Ward will be very good, I think he's going to need some time. So give me the Colts. Then we move on to week 4. They're going to travel to LA. They're going to take on the Rams. I think the difference in this game is the run game. If we have issues stopping the run, I think we're really going to struggle in this game because Kyron Williams, another Notre Dame guy, is one of the best running backs in the NFL. The dude is awesome. I mean, heck, his rookie year, he was second in NFL in rushing yards. And then he had a really good year last year as well. So I think Kyron Williams is going to be the difference in this game. On top of that, the Rams do have a good defense. I'm a little concerned about our offensive line. I'm not like just terrified and thinking, oh, we have one of the worst offensive lines. No, but I am a tad concerned. Hopefully, the offensive line plays better than what I think it's going to, so they can protect the quarterback and also give our run game some opportunities to get going. But I do think the Rams' defense, especially the defensive line, is really good, and I think that could cause problems for our offense. So I'm going to take the Rams in this game. All right, so now we're going to move on to week 5, where the Indianapolis Colts will be taking on the Las Vegas Raiders. This one was tough for me to predict. And I say that because the Raiders, I think, are going to be better than they were last year. I think Geno Smith is going to make this team better. But here's the thing, he had a really good receiver group in Seattle. He doesn't have that in Vegas, not nearly to that level. And I'm not saying they had the best receiver group. No, I'm not saying that at all. But you had Lockett, you had Metcalf. I mean, it helps to have guys like them. But they're going to the Raiders, and yeah, they have Brock Bowers, but your best receiver is Jacoby Myers, who was good last year. And I think Jacoby Myers is a good receiver. It just, can Geno Smith replicate what he did in Seattle in Vegas? And to me, I think if our run defense is not good this year and it's bottom of the league, I think that this could be a pretty difficult game for us to win because Ashton Genty, I think he's going to be pretty good for the Raiders. I really do. But I'm ultimately going to go with the Colts. I think the Colts have the better roster in general. I think while, yes, the Raiders do have a good coaching staff, I feel like our talent is going to be enough to win this game. So give me the Colts to beat the Raiders. Then we play against the Cardinals in week 6. And I know a lot of people are probably going to think, hey, the Colts, they're going to win. Like, when you look at the game before the season starts, I think a lot of people think, yeah, Indy's going to win this game. However, I think the Cardinals are going to be a good team. I'm not saying they're going to win their division, but I do think they're going to be in the hunt for most of the season. So I think this is going to be a pretty good team all around, and I think this could be a high-scoring game because I think the Cardinals' offense is going to be better than what some people think. So I'm going to go upset here. I'm going to take the Cardinals. I think the Cardinals beat the Colts. Then we move on to the next game, and that is going to be against the Chargers in LA. I simply just think the Chargers are a better team. I think the Chargers are going to be a very good team. I think they're going to compete with Kansas City for that division. I think this is the year they take that step. I think this is the year where Justin Herbert becomes a top 5 quarterback. I think their defense is going to be pretty good this year. I think their run game is going to be really good. I think the Chargers are going to have a really fun offense. And on top of that, they have a really good head coach in Jim Harbaugh. So give me the Chargers to win this game. Then we move on to Tennessee. We're going to host the Titans here. And again, I like Cam Ward. I think he's going to be very good in the NFL. However, I still think this will be an adjustment period for Cam Ward. So I will take the Colts at home. I think they sweep the Titans this year. I think they simply are just the better team, quite frankly. And then we're going to go to Pittsburgh, and we're going to take on the Steelers up next. I do not see a world where Indianapolis beats Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh's defense is going to be just way too much for this offense. And on top of that, I know Aaron Rodgers is not the Aaron Rodgers that he was in Green Bay, but Aaron Rodgers is still a good quarterback. I think he's going to have a really good final year because he's going to retire at the end of this season. He's got DK Metcalf. I think that Aaron Rodgers is going to have a really nice season, and ultimately I think this Pittsburgh offense is really going to hum with him, and I think the defense is it's one of the best defenses in the National Football League. So give me the Pittsburgh Steelers to win this game. This might not be close, if I'm going to be honest. I could see this being a blowout. And then they travel to Germany to take on the Falcons. The Falcons are going to be better than what some people think. Hot take, I think they win the NFC South. I think the Falcons are going to win the NFC South. I think they are going to be that good. They got some really good pass catchers. I think the difference in this game is ultimately Bijan Robinson. I think he's going to have a big game, both in the running department and in the receiving department as well. I think that the Colts are going to lose this game, and they're going to get beat by the Falcons in Germany. And then we have a bye week where we can regroup, and this is where the schedule gets really, really difficult. The Indianapolis Colts will then travel to Kansas City to take on the Chiefs. The Chiefs, I get it, have had some bad luck against Indianapolis. I totally understand that. Oddly enough, they lost to the Colts in 2022 when the Colts won 4 games. That should not have happened. I still don't understand why they lost that game. But nonetheless, it's still Kansas City. It's in Arrowfield. I think that Kansas City wins this game. And I could see this being a blowout, if I'm going to be honest. That offense, I think, is still going to be really good. Got to remember, you're playing with Patrick Mahomes. And if you have Patrick Mahomes, you're going to be pretty good. So I think Kansas City wins this game. And I don't even know if it's going to be particularly close. All right, so now we move on to our next game, which is going to be against the Texans in Indianapolis. Houston, I believe, is going to be battling to win the AFC South. They're going to be battling with Jacksonville, I believe, at this point. So this is a very important game for Houston. This is a game that they need to win because if there is a tie, you usually go off of, your divisional record and then you go off of conference record. So this is a big game. I think Houston wins this game. Simply put, they have to. They have to win this game. So give me the Houston Texans to beat Indianapolis. And then the Colts travel to Jacksonville, and there's really no point in talking about this. Colts are going to lose this game, and I believe that puts them at 4-9 right now. Not very good. Then the Colts are going to travel to Seattle to take on the Seahawks. I think Seattle wins this game. I think they're just simply the better team. Plus, you're going to Seattle with the 12th man. Not going to be easy at all. Give me Seattle to win this game. It's going to be close, though. I will say that. I think this is going to be a close game. I feel like this is a game where, one mistake puts Seattle over the top. So give me Seattle in this game. Then the Colts will be playing against the 49ers on Monday Night Football. I'm going to take the Colts. I think the Colts beat the 49ers. I think the 49ers will be dealing with injuries. I think the Colts get it done. I think they win. They're going to beat the 49ers. I think some Colts fans at this point are going to be hoping they lose their last few games because if they do, hey, you're in a good spot to get a really high draft pick. However, I don't see that being the case. I think they're going to win this game. So give me Indianapolis to beat the 49ers. Then the Colts are going to play against Jacksonville in Indianapolis. I think this is a must-win for Jacksonville, and I think Jacksonville does beat Indianapolis. But unfortunately for them, Houston's going to win this week as well, which will mean that Houston will win the AFC South. But Jacksonville needs this game. They need to win this game, and they will win this game. Then the Colts, they're going to travel to Houston to take on the Texans. I think the Texans at this point are going to rest their starters. I think the Colts win this game. They're going to beat the Texans backups. And that means, according to my prediction, I have the Indianapolis Colts winning 6 games this season. Now, let's say that Daniel Jones lights the world on fire. I could see a couple of these losses becoming wins. But the way I'm looking at it right now, with the confidence I have in Daniel Jones, I think the Colts will win 6 games. This is not going to be an easy schedule. I look at all these teams that are on the schedule that some people will think aren't very good, and I think they're going to be better, and I think they simply will beat the Indianapolis Colts. I think the Chargers are a team maybe Indy could beat if Daniel Jones lights the world on fire. However, I don't think that's going to happen. So I'm going to say the Indianapolis Colts will finish the 2025 NFL season with 6 wins, and then Chris Ballard and Shane Steichen will be fired. That is my prediction. And that is going to do it, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you're new, if you haven't already, I would greatly appreciate if you would click the subscribe button, click the bell icon so you're notified when I upload a video or when I go live. If you like the video, smack that like button, leave your thoughts in the comments down below. And if you have a Twitter, make sure you follow me on Twitter at @horseshoe_pod. Link is in the description down below. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Matt, Bleed Blue. We'll see you next time. Bye bye. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you like it, make sure you watch one of these other two videos. They're cool. Also, if you're new, please click subscribe button as well as the bell icon. I greatly appreciate your support.